Finally upgraded. Took a while, I know, but thanks to my coworker, I can finally record videos in high def! Unless I don't know what I'm doing, which is probably the case. So in honor of the occasion, I thought I'd review a game which we were both extremely excited for before release, but then became rather disappointed when it actually came out. Gather around, fellow nerds, let's discuss Titanfall for the Xbox 360. Okay, so I don't know about you, but when I was a little kid, two of the things I loved were Transformers and Plastic Army Men. Uniqueness is overwhelming, I know. So when Titanfall was announced in 2013, an FPS which would combine the elements of Call of Duty and Battlefield with giant mech combat, how could I not be excited for this? A new IP for the Xbox 360 and the brand new Xbox One? Sign me up! Then I played it. Now, I don't want to give the impression that Titanfall is a bad game to those who haven't played it. In fact, calling it bad couldn't be farther from the truth. Diving right in, does Titanfall manage to balance the more quick run-and-gun on-foot gameplay with slightly more strategic mech combat? Heck yeah, it does.
Warning, multiple threats attacking. Caution. Reactor unstable. Pilot ejected.
Let's break things down. In Titanfall, you play as a pilot, a sort of elite class of soldier with the unique sets of skills. As a pilot, you have access to, of course, the primary weapons and anti-Titan weapons for use during combat. The sort of semi-standard fare like carbines, shotguns, pistols, grenades, rocket launchers, and SMGs. Aiding in movement is this jetpack, which basically lets you kind of parkour and wall climb around the environment. In fact, playing as a pilot on foot, it's possible to be competitive against mech players if you get good.
We are out of here.
A tactical withdrawal has been ordered. Dropships deployed for evacuation.
During gameplay, either by waiting for a build period to end or by expediting the build process by killing other players, capturing objectives, or killing grunts, which are sort of like minions from a MOBA. They're not really meant to compete with the actual player characters. They're just there to kind of direct the flow of battle and help each battle feel much fuller. You can then call down your Titan onto the field, and this is where the real fun begins.
I can configure the system for remote activation with the ice pick.
You mean look better?
Okay, Vince, fight through the console. Get it on the medevac and I'm out of here. Good luck.
Recovery recommended. A friendly Titan is attacking your target.
Press the streak.
Now each Titan has some slight variations among them, but these things are basically just walking tanks, each easily capable of just mowing down player characters on foot.
Be advised, your replacement Titan will be ready in 2 minutes.
Or even turning the tide of battle. Abilities like a vortex shield, or rocket barrage, or the extremely trollish mini-nuke explosion upon death make a Titan versus Titan matchup in each match feel like a kind of strategic giant chess game. But with guns.
A friendly Titan is attacking your target.
Even cooler is the ability to put your Titan on autopilot and have it either follow you or guard a certain post, letting you kind of run around and, lead enemies into traps while your Titan distracts them and then jump on them as a pilot. The game was a blast to play. For a while, at least. See, Titanfall has a problem in terms of content. There's just not enough of it. Starting with the Titans themselves, there's only 3 of them, and with no real customization to speak of outside of some kind of pointless gamertag emblems and the autopilot voice.
Feindpilot eliminiert. Enemy pilot eliminated. Warnung. Gegnerischer Pilot.
Really? Shouldn't we be able to customize how our Titan looks? Choose, different arm and leg combinations and kind of add paint schemes, kind of make our Titan feel more like it's our own mech that we've been through hell with in each of the battles. Now, each of the 3 types, Atlas, Ogre, and Strider, are a bit different and do add some much needed variety to the gameplay. But it doesn't really feel like there's enough variation here. Not helping this is the extremely small pool of weapons you have available for your Titan. Titans only have 6 main weapons to choose from. Now, along with the somewhat cool extra features like auto eject or damage core boost, which can temporarily, sort of max out how much damage your Titan puts for a life-saving kill, there just isn't enough here. The same thing goes for pilots. You can choose your gender of your pilot, but aside from making your model look slightly different, this doesn't add anything. No pilot outfit customization and only 10 infantry weapons, which, thankfully, they are well balanced and fun to use. Only 4 anti-Titan weapons available for any kind of loadout you want to make. No doubt this does help in keeping the combat feel really tight and balanced, which I do commend Respawn Entertainment for doing, but it also limits the different loadouts you'll see and kind of makes the combat eventually feel a bit stale, match after match after match.
Texting all units. We've been defeated, battle pilot. Fall back to the evac point. If there are more terrorists out there, we'll find them soon enough.
Well done, team. All the survivors escaped and Talon got the intel. Now take those IMC pilots back to their evac.
Now, I do want to point out that the base game offering of 15 different maps is a pretty hefty amount. However, there only being 5 main multiplayer modes, all of which are team-based by the way, no free-for-all modes here, do hold everything back. Not that the modes aren't fun, far from it. The 2 standouts are Titan vs. Titan and Pilot Hunt. However, my personal favorite is still the standard team deathmatch, where everything, kind of fits together and falls into place to create just an insanely fun experience. For a while. Now, I do have to mention the burn cards, though. Upon reaching a new rank or completing certain challenges, you're rewarded with these single-use cards, sort of like perks from Call of Duty or whatnot, which are temporary use things to give you certain bonuses in combat. Things like an amped-up weapon, double XP, or endless grenades. To be honest, I found them kind of useless. I used a few here and there, but for the most part, I just kind of focused on just zoning into the game and focusing. No doubt other players sort of stand by them and have 2 or 3 that they really like, but I just didn't really care for them. Now, taking multiplayer and putting it aside, those of you who maybe still haven't played the original game may be wondering, what about the single-player campaign? How's that? There is none. The story is presented in a multiplayer-only campaign in which the plot is presented via, cutscenes and minimal voice dialogue, all while in a multiplayer match or an active lobby, with people blabbering in your ear and the sounds of combat going on. Not to mention, while you're also trying to focus on winning the match, or at the very least, trying to just do your very best, set a new personal high score, or new high kill streak, or whatever.
Have to be against each other, because we got to get to a Then how are we going to ever know who's better? No person is better than another. I agree. You kill me, you're better. I kill you, I'm better.
And this is the dumbest idea I can think of in how to tell a story. The best I can gather, not only from playing the game back when it came out and for doing it again for this review, there's some sort of corporation based on Earth, right? And they want resources from a Mars colony. So they go to this colony to take the resources, but but the people on Mars don't want that, so they start a sort of intergalactic civil war, and then something involving people versus the machines, even though we're all using machines, and half of the infantry in each army are actually composed of machines. I don't know, it doesn't make any sense.
In space, fuel is life, and the militia fleet is running low. Only 7 planets in the Yuma system can replenish a fleet of that size. This is one of them. We've set up turrets like this one, just in case the militia decide to pay this site a visit. That's Charlie, this one's Bravo. Bravo, give me a sit rep.
What's up, all right? 2 to 3 shows multiple jump signatures. 3 clicks out.
Bless, tell Briggs to get his squad on the deck now. Sir, our forces have assembled and ready for a Delta. Pilots, today you have a chance to establish peace on the frontier. Make it count.
And this is a shame because the fictional universe which they created here looks cool, and it really does beg for further exploration and a better story told in more depth. The graphical design and art design during matches is really cool to look at, you know, in the few instances you have a few seconds to spare. And in the background during matches, you'll see some cool things going on. You know, a giant 4-legged creature just wandering around the battlefield. Spaceships being blown apart by giant anti-aircraft laser guns. You know, I can't deny how good this game looks, especially on the Xbox 360, the version I own, which at the time of the game's release was a seriously aging console and the oldest one on the market. You know, I can't imagine how much better the game looks on what was at the time the brand new Xbox One. It's just, Titanfall had so much potential, you know, to be more than what we got. Yes, the gameplay is fun and everything controls well, both pilots and Titans themselves. Graphically, it looks good and it sounds good, and there's no denying that the core of what we have here is a solidly good game. But just the lack of so much content, no single player offline offering, very few Titans to choose from, barely any customization at all, only a handful of weapons for both pilots and Titans, and the fact that, again, this is a multiplayer only game means that when the servers are eventually shut down, that's it. All these factors come in to hold everything back in nearly every way, and it hurts to say because it's so much fun. Titanfall earns a 7 out of 10. Maybe it's beatable in one sitting. Possibly. Well, that'd be a fun one to do. Oh hey, you just caught me trying to decide what game I should review next in my next video. If you have the time, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below, as well as ring the little bell, that way you'll always be notified when I upload something new. Also, don't forget to leave a like and a comment if you so wish, and help spread the word about the channel to help me grow and get our community bigger and more thriving. As always, thanks for clicking on this, and have a good time.